Trump says he likes the idea of giving some of the savings from Doge back to Americans as kind of a dividend. Would you support that?
Listen, he's just telling a lie. He's not the one that had anything to do with the $1,200 refunds that people had during the midst of COVID. That was done by a Democratic House and Democratic Senate. Right now, what they're going to do is say, hey, we want to give you a refund, but Congress won't let us, because they already know that there's just no money for that. The only reason that those refunds came before was because we were living in different times. This was a time in which hopefully we won't ever go through again. We had a once in a lifetime pandemic. The bad part is that I don't know if it's once in a lifetime, because we know that Ebola, unfortunately, was detected right here in New York here recently. And if we continue down this road of getting rid of scientists or deciding that we don't want to rely on experts as it relates to what they're telling us to do, or we don't want to deal with vaccines and medicine in this country, then we may be facing not only our next pandemic, but our next 2, 3, or 4 pandemics because of their incompetence. So no, we are not in the business of giving out money. And honestly, I don't know what $5,000 will do for you if you are unable to find a job, because I am telling people we are headed towards a recession because the United States government is the 15th largest employer in the world. And so firing those that work for the federal government isn't going to necessarily create new jobs in private industry. In fact, Southwest Airlines, based in my district, just announced for the very first time in its entire existence that they are doing a layoff of approximately 15% of their workforce. If you pay attention, the signs are there. And I'm not telling you to be an alarmist. I'm telling you because I want to be honest with the American people. And my background, believe it or not, I was a business major, and none of this looks good.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Well, what we have here is a Democrat really just praising and supporting Canada and Mexico. Yeah, that's right. You have a Democrat here that is supporting Canada and Mexico, foreign countries, over the United States. Now, last time I checked, that's committing treason, and she is a person that's commit treason. And I don't know what else to tell someone, but that's quite insanity here. And yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. And not only that, we have the economy situation too, where she's talking about the economy, and that's a problem. Well, again, I know that what we have here with the economy when it comes down to President Obama, or ex-President Obama, was saying that, Trump acquired my inflation, right? He acquired my good economy, right? So that's the reason why the economy is so great, and why he did so good on the economy. Well, then you cannot be hypocritical and say this when you could say the same thing where Trump inherited Biden's great economy. So without further ado, here's this clip here of Obama saying this.
People, because I'm having conversations around the country with folks as I go campaigning. And I'll hear some people say, well, I remember the economy when those first 2 years with Trump, they were pretty good. And I say, yeah, it was good, because it was my economy that I gave to him.
So, yeah, what they're pretty much saying is that whoever gets the president beforehand, that came in, they inherited that economy. That economy is theirs. So that means Joe Biden, with his economy being god-awful, is inherited by Trump. So, therefore, it means the economy is, bad. So, he inherited a bad economy. But what the Democrats are doing now is that, let's just change it a tiny bit. Let's just change it, flip it a bit, and no, now it's a bad economy, right? It's a bad economy, which doesn't make sense considering the fact that we have all of this here. I mean, they're saying it's bad, with Obama saying it's bad, and then all of a sudden we have this here from obviously Janet Yellen pretty much saying we've got a good, strong economy, and it's in April 8th of 2024. Look at this. April 2024, and this, she's saying it's a good economy. Take a look.
If the economy continues to hold up, no matter what happens on the Fed.
I think that we've got a good, strong economy. We've got very strong domestic demand. Consumers are holding up. Some low-income consumers are perhaps exhausting their buffers of saving that they built up during the pandemic. We're seeing a little bit more distress at the household level there. But generally, households are in very good financial shape.
Yeah, so let's get that straight. They're saying the economy is fantastic. Now, we have Jasmine Crockett here, or what we would say crotchet, but, I don't want to take that as somebody else's term. Is that, that saying, oh, the economy is good, the economy is bad, and, about the layoffs. Well, here we go with that insanity.
People working. The United States is the 15th largest employer in the entire world, right? So now they're like, oh yeah, all those people we're firing, they can just go to private industry. The jobs don't exist. And private industry is signaling that they know that the recession is coming. Southwest has never done a layoff like what they did in the entire existence of Southwest. And they just cut 15% of their workforce. So we're seeing where private industry is starting to collapse and starting to actually reduce their workforce instead of increase it. So where are these people going to go? And people don't realize.
Here's the thing with this, right? Is that she's saying like, oh, the economy is doing great, or the economy was doing great under their leadership back in 2024, right? And we even had multiple articles saying this. The economy has been great under Biden. That's why Trump won. The Biden administration handed over a strong economy. This is from CAP, American Progress. CNN has even said that Biden's economic legacy, historic wage gains, investment, and job growth, but marred by inflation. And so it's January 19th in 2025. So again, you see all of this, and then if you even go down here, where the University of Chicago Booth of School Business in 2024 said the economy has been great under Biden, the Biden administration had over a strong economy, which is January 2025, and then of course you have Biden's versus Trump. Biden's grade on economy jumps to an A in October 2024, and it goes on. Even CNBC says you're going to grow best, Trump claims cesspool. Again, Biden's actually leaving the economy stronger than ever. So again, you're seeing this back in 2025 and 2024 where they're saying all these things. The Biden economy is great and fantastic, but now all of a sudden, even though that Obama transferred technically, Obama said that like, oh, Trump inherited my economy, my great economy, right? And now Jasmine Crockett is saying, oh, well, the economy is bad, or whatever, because Trump is under it. Well, wouldn't Trump inherit Biden's economy anyways, according to Obama's logic? So, therefore, I don't know what else she's talking about here. She's just an idiot.
Realize how many organizations, private or otherwise, rely on federal dollars in some way. And now you're saying we're going to take those federal dollars out, but we're not putting them back into people's pockets. We're putting them into the pockets of my friends. So now Elon is going to get more money. Now I'm going to figure out how to serve myself, because he also told his Department of Justice, do not enforce the marijuana laws, right, on the books. Do not enforce the fact that there's this disparity between crack and cocaine on the federal level, but do not enforce foreign influence laws. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I had nobody from the hood get caught up because they were engaged in some kind of foreign influence.
That's a fact.
She's an idiot. She's an actual idiot. So first off, the one thing to strongly differ from her claims, because she's a moron, is that she's outright saying that Elon is trying to support and give money to his billionaire friends, or etc., right? Which is insane, which is stupid, because we just had there where they're giving the Doge dividend and giving $5,000 to the American citizens as a refund, which you were against, by the way, and didn't want to give Americans $5,000. You're saying that's a problem, but he was giving $5,000 to the American citizens. So this is the opposite of what you're saying. And then, let's add insult to injury here, because you're a bigger moron. You're even saying like, well, they're not going to charge these people with like drugs and all that other stuff, right? Well, guess what? Unfortunately, the Biden administration made this a precedent, right? They did this because, again, if we go here, if we have where the Biden administration pardoned his entire family. He pardoned his entire family, even Chuck Schumer. So again, when we're going to say that, like, oh, well, they're doing this, it's like, no, you set this precedent, you made this a thing, and now you're going to backpedal and say, oh, this? No, that's just stupid. That is completely dumb.
I mean, so who is it that typically gets caught up? It's people with access. And so now basically he's signaling to all of these people that have tried to corrupt our government, come on through, drop off a bag. In fact, y'all just had a senator nearby that just went down. They just gave Menendez 11 years for the exact thing that he's telling his Department of Justice, do not enforce this. That's where we are.
How do you feel about that? Because, you know, it seems like if you're cool with Trump, you get a pardon. If you're cool with Trump, he'll tell you don't prosecute him. Recently, we've seen Eric Adams not being prosecuted. What's your thoughts on that?
If you're cool with Trump, you get paid.
Listen, my thought is that I'm still black in America and I ain't finna play no kind of games.
Word.
Like, so I am gonna walk the straight and narrow for a number of reasons. Number one, I have some morals about myself. And number two, I know that they would love an opportunity to lock me up, right? Like, I would be the exception to the rule. But you're absolutely right. I mean, Canada has really been the one to call it out. The fact that I'm rooting for Canada and I'm rooting for Mexico a lot is really wild. But they are really...
There you have it. There you have it, okay, guys. That's what you have. This person here, this Democratic person, this woman is pretty much being happy of rooting for another country, foreign countries over the U.S. That's what she just said. She is rooting for countries over the U.S. And now let's just play this, right? Let's play this. So for the fact of the matter is that what we have here is this is treason. This is what we consider treason, correct? Because obviously people need to start understanding what treason actually is, because I think a few people are a little bit out of the loop here. Now, we have the bare minimum of what treason would be, and then we're going to do the next thing that would be treason. So without further ado, my friends, let's just do this. So what we have here. Treason is a crime that involves attacking a state or authority to which one owes allegiance. It can also refer to a TV miniseries, which is, we're not talking about the TV miniseries. Treason as a crime. Treason can include participating in a war against one's country. And it can also include giving aid and comfort to enemies of one's country. In the United States, treason can result in death, imprisonment, fines, and being unable to hold public office. To be convicted for treason, there must be a testimony from two witnesses to the same act or a confession in open court, which we have video there, so that's not very hard to do. And then this, of course, we have a bit more of this as well, where we have a bit more of the actual simpler term, which is the treason, the offense of attempting to overthrow the government of one's country or of assisting its enemies in war. Specifically, the act of leveling war against the United States or adhering to or giving aid and comfort to its enemies by one who owes its allegiance. So what she's doing here is that she's adhering or giving aid or comfort, which would be, supporting another foreign country, which would be Canada and Mexico. She'd be giving allegiance to them. So she would be committing treason in this regard. So I don't know about you guys, but we have a Democrat person, a Democratic senator here, or what have you, pretty much saying that I am in support of Canada and Mexico, foreign countries, and not in support of the U.S. That's insane to me, and this woman should be put in prison just for that, for actual treason. Yes. So I don't know what else to tell you guys. The insane thing part is that the face of the Democratic Party, this woman here is just doing this. And this is just completely and utterly insane. I cannot believe we have a person here like this that is committing treason. It's insane. It's insane. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Like, share. As always, take care, my friends.
Burn down the city, scream at the top of your lungs till you're dizzy. You can cancel everything and everybody in it, but it's not yours.